up, Wheelers? You're listening to the Light Bars and Lockers podcast, the show where we answer your Jeep questions. And we talk about badass builds and discuss ways to beef up your ride. As always, I'm Paul from JeepBeef, and I've got Tim Rogers from TMR Customs. TMR Tim, as we like to call him, and Ryan from Combat Off.
Double
What's
T.
going on, guys? Double T.
I want to make sure this says double T now.
Double T. Nice. And we have Dion in the house. So Dion, I don't know if you caught us talking about you, but we want to see your build. So if you can throw it up in the comments there, that'd be awesome. Or at least tell us about it, because we weren't 100% certain what it was that you
I remember seeing a photo of it a while ago, but I can't place it.
It's white. I remember that, but I forget exactly what it is. So yeah, leave a little comment below and we'll talk about it. So what's going on? Tim, what's up at TMR?
We got a sale right now on our Delrin door hinge bushings. So those always fly at this time of year. Because obviously the weather's getting better. And people want to get those doors off and enjoy the cheap freedom on the Wranglers anyways. I mean, if you want to take it off one of these oddballs, good for you.
Get the cutoff wheel.
I have a story for that. One of my friends took his off his Cherokee. He had previously had a Wrangler, took them off his Cherokee, and I said, that's going to be a regrettable move, you fucking dumbass. And then he calls me and he's like, hey, it's about to rain. And I'm like, yeah, just slap your door back on there. And he's like, I need a hand holding it to put it back on. And I'm like, so how's this differ than if you decide to take the fucking door off your mom's Caravan? I'm like, this is just a stupid idea top to bottom. So I purposely left him at the dry. I didn't go help him because I thought he needed a dad he needed a dad lesson from someone. So I let him have it, and then I don't think he did it again. I think he learned.
Oh my god,
that's awesome. I love it. That's killer. I love it. That's good. Someone says they've cut a roof off an XJ, which doesn't surprise me if you drive an XJ. No offense to anyone, but I will get into it. I personally love XJs. We'll circle back on it, but it's like a bit of a thing. Like I love the way that they look, especially restored, killer. But Ryan, what's going on at Combat?
Stuff. We put a cat station in, just a better one last night, and then we're just working on stuff. We got our coins for our brigade. Yeah, influencers. It's so hard to do this.
No, it's legit. Coming through. It's looking good. Yeah. What are they made of? I heard it sort of like when you threw it on the table there, it made a pretty good sound. A little clunk.
Whatever, Wolverine, his claws, same shit.
Yeah, that's right. Titanium.
Yeah. It was the adamantium, right? That's the nerd.
Or whatever.
There you go.
That's right.
It. Yeah. And then we have those, and then we have our elite group coins coming out too for the super killers. And just pushing along products, trying to get stuff done. And just everything's taken forever across the board. Like every single little thing has been a little bit of a hurdle, but whatever, is what it is.
So how do I get a coin if I'm listening to this? I'm like, hey, I want a coin.
Oh, different. I can give you one, but
no. But like I'm saying, like anyone listening, how do they get a coin?
Basically, the brigade is basically the group of people that just help support us actively, through anything like social media or events. And if you stepped it up and did like a discount code through us and just got approved as a supporter, you would be entitled to one of these coins. And then with the coin, so you see it, you just get privileges through us, through the combat company. And if we see at different shows, there's just different little fun surprises and different things when you pop out that coin, right? And then the Alpha Squadron coin is just our super elite group. Those are the guys that go the extra mile, guys and girls, and you really push the brand. And then they go set up at an event, or they really represent us at shows, or they just go the extra mile for us. And then those coins are more fun. Like we see it with one of those coins, the people that get them, and you get drinks, you get food, you get pop-up prizes, you get all kinds of cool stuff. So nice. Pretty neat. We're just obviously developing all that right now. I mean, but once we can get back to show circuit and all that stuff, and just build on it, it's just another little piece in the puzzle, right?
Awesome. Okay, cool. Oh, that sounds good. We'll keep people posted on once that program's fully developed, and maybe sign up on the website, things like that. Shout outs on social media, all that fun stuff. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about these crazy oddities. And Ryan, let's start with you. Which of these non-wranglers have you owned?
I've had a bunch of XJs. I've had a ZJ, and then I went right off. We had an SRT8 Grand Cherokee. How many years that one? A 14. So I had a few, like, you know, the one that totally doesn't go off road at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's what maybe Dion has. I'm not sure, but and not that he doesn't take it off road. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, right on. That's cool. So you've had a few.
Yeah, probably like I had him before I opened the store. You know, like a couple of them were like my winter beaters. One I like painted primer gray because it was hurting. Did a little outdoor paint job, and I remember I had to
roll it on.
No, I spray. I'm a spray kind of guy.
Okay.
I went to one time. I kept my Jeep in a greenhouse over winter because we used to have a garden center when I was a little kid. Like that was kind of my thing. So I was coming back from school in this Cherokee, and I wanted to check on my Jeep because I'm that weirdo, right? So I dig out the gate, go to the back, and I drove to the back because I had 4-wheel drive with that sweet. It was a 2-door Cherokee, which I kind of like better than most. It's pretty cool. And I remember getting out, and I gave the door a little slam, and I looked up, and I looked at my Jeep in the greenhouse, and all of a sudden the fucking door fell off, and it's like March break, right? So there's 3 feet of snow. My door rotted right off the side of the whole truck. The big 2-door door fell right to the ground. So I had other plans for my day. Nobody knew I was at the garden center. So, and my Jeep was in the greenhouse up on blocks. So I spent the rest of my day in like minus whatever, digging my green Jeep out. Because it was easier for me to do that than to put the damn door back on with no tools. So, that's what I did. I left that piece of shit right there, and I got the CJ out with no heater, and I ran a Canadian Tire, and I wired up one of those little mini heaters for automotive, and I had no heat in that thing. So I changed from like putting it out the window so I could see, and then putting it inside my goddamn jacket and doing it up. And I drove all the way back to Kitchener-Waterloo from Collingwood with that thing. A little bit for the window, a little bit for my balls, a little bit for the window, and I did that for fucking 3 hours.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that was and then I think I scrapped that fucking thing after that, the Cherokee. I didn't fix the door, but it was cool. I liked it. It had the limited. It was a limited, so full jam, gray leather. It used to be black, but I had a primer gray, and it had the fancy like honeycomb gold wheels and shit, like the OEs. Yeah,
all in, man.
Total ball tire.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Tim, what about you? What are these crazy oddities have you had?
Man, I was overlooking one, but my wife currently drives a Grand Cherokee, a 2015. I didn't even
look at it. You just walked by the car.
I didn't even think of it. Yeah, it's funny, but
my wife's car's here. She's home.
She loves it. I told her she probably needed to drive something in the Jeep family. She liked my JK when it was stock, but as soon as it was modified, she quickly realized that modifications ruin vehicles.
Come on.
Yeah, like she's a realist, so she was like, "Yeah, this thing rides like shit. I don't want one of these." So
take some air into the tires.
You can get $1,000. So yeah, so she's happy with that. And then the other one, I guess, would have been one of the OG Jeeps in our family. My dad had a Cherokee Chief.
That's nice.
When we were kids, we'd go riding in it. Like me and my brother and my sister sitting in the back, and he'd take us on some basic trails and just bouncing around town and shit. And that was a lot of fun as a kid. And then he gave it to his cousin. His cousin had a farm, and basically this Jeep needed to go out to pasture. So he gave it to his cousin, but his cousin used it as like a farm, basically a piece of farm equipment. And I remember going up to his cousin's farm, and again, we'd get some rides in the back of that Cherokee Chief. Through some little trails and shit. And I've got the original badges off of it when it finally went to scrap. Yeah. When it finally did go to pasture, we told my dad's cousin, like, hey, get us the emblem off the side because it's a pretty cool one. I don't know where I have them right now, but yeah, we kept them because that's what I remembered most about that Jeep. I don't know what's culturally appropriate to say, but yeah, it was a Native American head, like head on the side.
Yes, I know that one.
Yeah.
Sweet looking, yeah.
It is fucking sweet. So I kept those. They're somewhere. Either me or my brother possessed them somewhere. Probably him. He's the bigger hoarder. But yeah, that's all that's left. So those would be the two that were kind of in my family and I have memories of.
That's cool. I had my clothing company. I had a 2-wheel drive Comanche long box.
Oh, that's sweet.
With a electrician's topper on it. And I used to pack all my clothing in it and go all to all the different mountains all over Ontario and like pitch my gear like back from I guess I started when I was 17, so 17 to 22.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I opened Off-Road Addiction at 23 or whatever.
Very cool.
I kind of in the mid, I decided to switch, but yeah, and I just drive that thing and had a whole bunch of Superfly gear stickers all over it, like little 1x3 inch stickers all over the topper, and it was a manual. Yeah, I love that thing, man. I just was always so sad that it was only 2-wheel drive, solid axle, just a trailer axle in the front, really.
Yeah, the beam. Yeah,
yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, yeah, but she
cool.
had to. I let her go too. Someone bought it. I think they wanted it. They're going to convert it because you could. All the frame points are there.
Mhm.
Just punch in if you want to do all that work, but
yeah, that's the thing, right? Really. Dion sent in a picture of his
oh yeah, there it is.
Go.
Yeah,
WJ. Yeah,
so like
WJ,
01 or something like that. Something like that. 2000 to 2003, right? Something like that.
Yeah, Dion, tell us a little bit more in the comments down there, but there it is. It's a
Killer.
sweet looking, yeah, it's pretty good, eh?
Oh, yeah.
The nice thing about it is it's not something you see every day, you know? Now, have you taken the doors off yet? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You might. Just don't call me to put them on when it rains.
Right?
There you go.
Exactly,
Tim's gonna hang here to dry on that one.
Yeah, he's
He
got
doesn't
a
care.
sale on those Delrin things. Awesome. Okay, so all right, so Tim, then if you were to talk about any non-Wrangler, whether you've owned it or not, which model would you say is your favorite and why?
I'd say the Cherokee XJ. It was kind of at the forefront of changing the game, and really that one is sick.
Cool.
There it is, right?
Yeah, it kind of changed the game, and it's really essentially one of the first like SUVs that came to the mass market. They came out in 83 or 84.
Yeah, 84,
and then they were around in North America until 01. And actually, I didn't know this. I read up yesterday when I was just looking up some info on this topic. They made them internationally in some markets, I think up until 14, which would be
wow,
fucked. Like get a newer one from somewhere else.
Could you imagine?
Just vintage.
That would be fucking sweet. So yeah, I'd go with them. I mean, they've got the 4-liter. They're stout, like we were talking about with TJ's last week and whatnot. And the AW4 automatic transmission that came in those they're tough as nails too. I've actually got one of those in my TJ. It's a 4-speed auto and they're stout. So yeah, I'm really biased, and I like those XJs the most. That would be my choice if I could have one for sure.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Ryan, same question to you.
Well, it'd be interesting because I like the SRT8 Grand Cherokee, like even though we're not talking off road, but that's a machine. I'd go new Grand Cherokee, but like the Trackhawk. You know what I mean? If I had to pick, for sure, that would be what I want. Just all the nuts are there, right? But if I couldn't and I needed something for off road, I'd definitely do a ZJ, and I would either do like the 98 5.9 V8 one. Like I forget the year range on those, but I think they're like 93 to 98 or something like that. And I think 99 to 04 is like the one Dion had. But I would do that older, smaller gen one with the 5.9, and you could tell because it had hood louvers and all that fun stuff. And I would swap out that case for a flexible case, and that would be mine. Or if you could go really monkey, and I would get a 97 to 01 Cherokee. Put the 5.9 ZJ Trent, stuff in it. So I had a V8 square body Cherokee, right? That would be kind of the ultimate. And I'd sleeve that frame or something.
Nice. Dion says he went with the WJ because it is the last solid front axle.
Perfect. Yeah, that complete. I mean, that makes sense.
Nice too.
Yeah, you're getting the like the newest, so hopefully less like rod issues and the thing's in better shape. And yeah, it is the last of the solid axle, so that's completely appealing.
And so why would we go solid axle versus independent?
Solid's considered better for like rock crawling and trail riding, just because as one wheel pushes up over an obstacle, weight transfer down to the other wheel, gaining better traction. IFS systems have come a long way. There's a lot of like new advanced shit out there, but yeah, in terms of durability and simplicity for a trail wheeler, then yeah, solid axle is tough to beat.
So super sidebar here then, does that present a possible challenge with the Bronco? Because it's the Bronco completely.
Yeah, it's a dependent front. It's just a different animal. If you see most people that are like influencers or were involved in pitching the Bronco, they say it can go faster than a Jeep, smoother than a Jeep. So I think they're just trying to appeal to more mass market. It's probably going to ride smoother on the road.
Yeah.
Like no question, it's going to ride nicer on the road. And
Right.
like I say, IFS has come a long way, so I think it's still going to be relatively capable off road. Where it'll get interesting is if you want to put a 40-inch tire on it and really push it for extreme rock crawling, then you're going to see what people do in the front end. Because I mean, the components they're using probably aren't up to snuff. No different than a Jeep solid axle is not up to snuff, but a solid axle swap under a Jeep that had a solid axle is going to be much easier than a solid axle swap under that Bronco, or running like race level parts, stuff that's going to be durable enough for that IFS front end. So yeah, it's going to be cool to see how that evolves once those things come out and people start pushing the limits of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe we could probably do a whole show just.
We could.
All right, so we'll add that to
I'll
the
try
list.
and get a hold of one too.
Yeah, I see that they are pretty tough to get a hold of. But can I tell you, I'm trying to figure out a way to get it up on social media, but it's hilarious. Someone sent it on Instagram. It's from the Bronco. You know, they have the off-roadios, so they have like school to teach people. So you buy. I think it's a great idea actually.
Sure.
But it's so funny because they did this whole thing and they were like, here's the water fording test. Like, you know, here's the Broncos going through the water. I swear to God, it's a puddle this deep. Like it's that it doesn't even
really?
The water doesn't even come up to the bottom of the frame. It's hilarious. I'm trying to figure out a way to share it because it's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah, the guy that sent it to me and I had a pretty good laugh on it. So very funny, very big sidebar there. But okay, so we've talked about what we like. So you know, let's talk about what we don't like, right? You know, as Tim says, hate is the variety. What? Hey, no, hate is the spice of life. That's it.
No.
So Ryan, which of the non-Wrangler Jeeps do you like have the least love for, and why?
It's interesting. There's just a commonality that I hate about them. It's just the unibody. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like if it had a frame, it'd be killer. You know what I mean? So that's it. I mean, I guess the most irritating one is the half unibody, half frame Comanche in that sense, right? So I mean, it's cool that it's a cool mini truck, but it's so dumb, right? And then you get tensions of metals, you know, reacting at different rates because the thicknesses. You know what I mean? So your front end is going to twist up more than your back end, or you're going to have that hinge point where the frame of the truck meets the cheese of the unibody front end. Like that's got to be like a strange piece, right? So I mean, for on-road driving down the road straight, it's probably fine. But I mean, if you're off-road, I think it would just be a weird beast, or that's got to be a weak point. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
And while we're here, anyone watching, we want to know what is your least favorite Jeep? So
well, my least favorite would probably be like a Liberty.
A Liberty? Yeah, your least favorite?
Yeah, totally.
What about like the old Compass?
Yeah.
Man, for me,
There you go.
The biggest embarrassment the Jeep's ever put out.
Compass I didn't even think that's kind of like what Tim said. He walked by his wife's car. Same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even. That was so non-Jeep. I can't. You know. Yeah. And what's the other one? The Patriot too, right?
Patriot.
They're almost the same thing, right?
Yeah. And then the Renegade would get my vote.
Oh, like yes, the Renegade.
The current little box ones. Like, I mean, those all to me are just slapping a Jeep brand on a car. Like even my wife's first car was a Dodge Caliber, and it's the exact same as I think the Compass. Because one of our friends got, I think it was the Compass, and was just like, "Hey Tim, I bought a Jeep." I'm like, "Oh sick, let's see it." Sends me a picture of that. Like, it's the same as my fucking wife's Dodge Caliber, but they slapped the Jeep badge on it. So I'm like,
that Caliber looks tougher, man.
It does. It was a little more boxy.
Yeah, it's more like,
but yeah, I would say, yeah, Compass, Renegade, any of those newer iterations where it was literally put the badge put the Jeep badge onto a car. I think they sold more units under the nameplate of Jeep, but I think that just cheapened the brand. And I mean, it is, some people would get one of those and then maybe get a little bit caught up in lifestyle and hopefully gravitate over to something more appropriate. But to me, I think that was just kind of a watering or cheapening of the brand. So those ones would get my vote for least fave.
My buddy did that. He progressed, right? He started with that Compass.
Okay.
And then he got a Renegade. And then, believe it or not, he was ready to do some serious modifications to that Renegade. He was like, we were trying to figure out a way to put in like larger tires. And
we lifted one, dude.
You know, you did? Yeah.
I think we lifted 3.
Daystar lift, probably?
No, it's a company out of Italy, so it's super hard to get it,
Okay.
and they had a certain wheel with a certain offset. You had to get through them, and yeah, I forget we put BFG ATs on it, and it rode like a toaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and those things are so tinny. You just hear everything. Like you're like, oh my god, it's gonna fall apart. And you're just going to like going up the road. So bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked
they're pretty
cooler.
terrible.
Like it looked cooler, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, pretty bad. They really, I don't know. But anyway, you're right. He graduated. He ended up getting he has a jail now. So there you go.
Is that the
And-
guy that got the 2-door though instead of the 4-door?
No, that's my other friend. No,
Right,
he
right,
got
right.
the 4-door. Actually, it's funny because he helps me do like a lot of when we do the install videos and stuff. My one friend does it, who has the JL, the 4-door. So he's basically got the Sport, but it's with the Rubicon package. We joke about because he's got my old wheels and he's got my old bumpers.
Hand-me-downs?
Yeah, he's got it all. Right. So I mean, it looks great. You know, he comes, spends some time, helps me out with some stuff, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good little Jeep. But no, he's got the 4-door. The other guy hasn't got his 2-door yet. He ordered it. I'm not sure when that comes in, but I'm sure they're watching. But so we better not badmouth them too much, right? No, I'm just.
It's up to you.
Yeah, you let him have it.
That's right.
I don't know. Sounds
That's
like a
right.
real
That's
dick
right.
to
You
me.
guys can. I just can't. That's right. All right, Tim. So, question then: how about like anything you could bring back from the dead, something from the past? You know, something you can improve upon. What would you bring back?
The XJ, but with a full frame. No,
Ooh, yeah.
no unibody shit. Let's make this body on frame like it should have been. That would be durable as all hell, and that would give a Wrangler a serious run for its money. Because back in XJ land, they had a better wheelbase than obviously the accompanying YJ or TJ at the time. So I think an XJ on a full frame would be a serious.
Okay, cool. You cut out for a sec, so we got
Yeah, you
like
went.
super fast at the very end.
We are. Yeah,
Yeah, you
XJ.
went like robot there.
Full framed XJ. That's what I'm going with.
Full framed XJ. Okay, cool. Sounds good. It's funny because a few years ago there was right around the corner from me a guy that has two, and he used to always keep them on his front lawn, which you know I always thought was total badass, of course, right? But yeah, he ended up selling it, and now they were in mint shape. I didn't think at the time, I should have got one, but anyway, I'm with you. Those XJs that when people put the time into them, there's the two XJs, right? The total shit box that people like destroy, and then the other one that they put a lot of time and effort into, and they still destroy, right? Like that it seems to be those are the two. But yeah, XJ's killer. I love it. Ryan, how about you?
I'd love to see a J20 or something, like a full size pickup, like modernized. Then it would have like a TRX power plant.
Ooh.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Tell us more.
Dude, that's all I was thinking. What Tim was saying, like a full frame XJ. I know they'll never do it because it would directly compete with the 4-door JL, right?
Yeah.
But it'd be cool. But you seen those things at SEMA with the fronts? The guys that put mate the
yes
the XJ front clip onto the older Jeep, right?
Yeah, they got that and that other one. I think it's like a J20 front on them too, right? The German guys made that. But that's an interesting. Have you seen those, Paul?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
No. Oh, it's
I've seen with the front clip on the even on a newer one, like on the JL, where
they sell a kit, they morph a kit on there. I think it was like 20-something thousand US for the kit, not painted and everything, like just a box of stuff.
Sounds German.
Really? Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Premium.
Awesome. Gary says bring back an old, early 80s Toyota truck.
Oh, different episodes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will
they are cool. Back to the Future, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Right? Back to the Future.
That's everybody's favorite Toyota, man.
Yep,
especially in our kind of age group, I would say.
Yeah.
I remember just drooling over that truck. I didn't even care about the movie. I'm like, that's
right. I know.
Look how clean Biff got my truck.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm a fan of those.
What about you, Paul? What do you think?
I would, without knowing a ton about it, but I really like the old, the Cherokee Chiefs. I really like
full size,
those.
like Wagoneers
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, I love the Comanches, like Comanches done up. I think
Yeah,
if
they
if
look
they
cool.
brought back a real Comanche, I think that would be killer. Yeah, it's tough to say, really. I think like I like a lot of the older stuff, to be honest. But XJ 100%. Like for whatever reason, like I don't know if it's like right now it's just cool, right? Like every movie we're the cool guy. You remember like in our day it was like 90210 and what's his name drove that Porsche. It's like now the cool kids, they drive around in their XJs, which
Really?
is pretty killer. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, my
missed that
kids,
shit.
things that they watch on TV and stuff, they're all driving XJs. Like that's
Really?
a cool car. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never
Was
seen
this
that.
okay? Deanna wants to know, do we see Chip Foose rendering of the modern XJ? No.
Let's see
No, I
that.
want
Yeah.
that would be
I love
cool.
Chip Foose. I
Yeah,
saw him
he's
at
good.
SEMA a couple years ago. I'm like, hey, Chip. He's like, hey, man. And he's like, and he looks at the other guy. He's like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yes.
It was epic, man. Nate started howling. He's laughing so hard he's crying, but it just worked out for me. It was my little 5 seconds.
Nice.
I tried
That's
it with
awesome.
Jay Leno. It didn't work.
I didn't.
They wouldn't let me close enough to him.
Right. I can just picture it in my mind right now. All right. Well, let's talk about racing then. We know that like a bunch of non-wranglers race in the stock and modified
Horse
classes,
racing
in the TMR race series in particular, right? So Tim, which model do you think is the most successful in the race?
In terms of results, currently would be XJs would lead the pack in terms of success and results, but I think the ZJ with the V8 power would be like right there. I mean, so there's a racing team called Dale Racing, super fun team. Like it's Jack Dale and his 2 sisters. Their dad supports them. He used to race in the UK, and then now the kids like race, and they do all the maintenance on the Jeep, all the prep. It's pretty amazing. They've struggled with cooling issues, so I mean that big V8 leads to some overheating. So I think they need some better radiator and cooling in there. But yeah, I think that V8 ZJ is gonna take over. But right now, XJ seem to kind of be the king.
Got it.
So V8 ZJ over V8 WJ?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because the ZJ, I guess we're going 5.2 or 5.9 versus
4.7.
the WJs are 4.7, right?
Yeah. The Overland Limited had a high output 4.7 though.
Okay. And one guy raced one of the 4.7 WJs, actually Mark Bachman.
Yeah.
And he dominated for 2 years. Like he mopped up that class. Like no one was close to him. So yeah, maybe it's just a matter of V8 power with the right modifications and drivers, but But yeah, I think if everyone's skill set was equal, then yeah, that 5.9 would probably lead the pack.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like those too.
I was gonna say I've seen some modern ones, even like the newer. They're still making those, right? The ZJs?
No, 98 is the last year.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then I guess the newer.
But WJ is the next one. Like Dion's is a WJ, and then you had
these numbers, these letters.
Then you had then you had a WK, right? Was the one after
I think so.
that?
Yeah.
And then I kind of lose touch after that because nobody's modding the ones past that. Like really, you know what I mean? Anything like your wife's and newer, I've never seen too much going on that way, right?
It just got some method race wheels and BFGs, and that's like stock height. That's it. And it looks good, but that's it.
Yeah, we've done that. We've definitely sold rim and tire packages on the newer stuff for sure. Like a lot, but no big kits. I think Superlift had a kit for a newer one. We did one. I can't remember what year it was. Oh, look at that.
The hoist wagon.
Yeah, the hoist wagons, man. We could do an episode on the hoist wagon.
I love how that thing's still alive.
It is. It's alive and well. It's getting actually a V8 swap right now. So when it's
there we go.
Yeah, when it's
what's the hoist wagon?
So it was originally my friend Vince's. That's the dumbass that took the doors off in the rain.
Oh
so
yeah.
Okay. That was on the hoist wagon, and then got sold to my friend Matt Kennedy. He had it for years, and then like did some good mods to it. He one-tonned it. It looked amazing, and then he decided he wanted to race it, and that was cosmetically the demise of it. Sure.
Yeah, it looks like a pop can now.
It does, and yeah, he raked it into a tree at one race, and like fuck, that was the beginning of the end. So he got redeployed for the military, so he sold it, and then Brian and Amy Kane now own it. They're local, they race in our series, but yeah, that Jeep's got a lot of legendary stories, tales, and laughs.
Well, I remember when he got the tattoo in the cabin of the hoist
Yeah,
wagon.
so
Oh, it's crazy.
yeah, we
I was
branded,
like standing right there. I'm like, what the fuck?
we started calling it the hoist wagon to make fun of him because this thing lived on a hoist forever. Like it wasn't
Okay, all right.
actually. And he got so raging pissed that we nicknamed it the hoist wagon. And, almost lost a friend over it, but eventually came around to the idea, and we said if you'll tattoo hoist wagon on you,
Oh my god.
I'll give you a part, pick something. So he wanted a PSC double-ended ramp to convert to full hydraulic, and I was like, this sounds like a fair deal to me. So yeah, we tattooed him after a rock race event in Perry Sound, in one of the cabins. My friend Paul Oliver brought his gear up and tattooed hoist wagon on this fucker's calf. And it's so funny because it's like he's got that for life, but originally when hoist wagon was first out, the guy was like screaming mad over it. So it's funny. He came full circle and endorsed his own brand that we gave him. So yeah.
Funny. That's powerful stuff right there.
It is.
I remember going in that cabin just like I was gonna get a drink or just see what's going on, and all of a sudden it's like bzzz. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh my god, he's getting a tattoo right here.
Here. Yeah.
In the dirty ass cabin.
40 people watching.
That's awesome.
Cabin at the KOA in Perry Sound. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that. That's funny.
All right, so Dion said he put the link to the Foose XJ redesign in the comments. So if anyone's interested, I tried to download it, but Facebook's giving me a hard time, so I can't put it up. But if you're listening to this, feel free to check out the episode on lightbarsandlockers.com. It'll have the actual pictures, or watch it live, I guess. Next time
without the pictures.
Don't miss out. Yes, just imagine. But yeah, check it out. The Foose.
You got to say picture redesign.
It. Picture this.
Yes.
All right. So then, Tim, if you were to build, because you have the buggies, right? You obviously could have chose to, go with an XJ or ZJ or whatever. But if you were to build one as a race vehicle, which one would you go with?
ZJ. So for sure, I would try and harness that 5.2 or 5.9 power. I think Ryan will know, but the 5.9's only 1 year or 2 years.
Just the 98, I believe.
Okay, so that 5.9's a rarity, so that might be hard to find, and that might be hard to find another one
eligible
for spares. Yeah, so maybe I'd go with the 5.2 because they'd be more plentiful. But yeah, I would try and harness that V8 power, get some proper cooling in it, and see if you can stretch the legs, and if you got more horsepower there, really to pull on people. But again, if you can't cool it, then it's useless at that point. But that's probably what I would take a stab at. 5.2 ZJ. I think they look pretty fucking rugged too.
They're cool.
Yeah, that'd be my choice.
Ryan, what about you? If you were to build a race vehicle for Christina, if you were to build a,
can I have something for myself for a change?
Yeah, get you.
One.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thanks. I don't know. I probably honestly I even like that truck even earlier in the podcast, so that'd be a cool one. I'd go with the big motor and the little smallest machine with the biggest motor. It's going to be the 98 5.9 Cherokee or Grand Cherokee. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to argue that one.
This guy here, the one we poached.
No, that's a 90. Well, no, his is a 99 to 04. Right, you need to find
93 to 98 ZJ.
Yeah, here, wait. I'll see if I can make it really high tech. I'm gonna look on my phone and put it up to the camera.
There we go. I don't know if when we do the show notes and we'll throw it up on Instagram, when that happens, we'll throw some pictures up there. So.
Transfer case swaps might be a thing with those. I don't know what case they had. I think a lot of them had an all-wheel drive case.
They did.
Yeah, my friend Vince had a ZJ as well prior to his XJ and Wrangler days. That's it.
That's the one, dude. That color.
Really?
The hood louvers are the ones that give it away. You got to get that bad boy. Yeah, it'll be full-time four-wheel drive, so you got to get rid of that.
That's cool.
Oh, they did come black.
I wouldn't look at that and go, wow, that's going to be a badass race machine.
No, definitely not. But
it's cool.
There's the hood louvers. There you can see it. Maybe.
Sort of psychedelic, but yeah, we got it.
Yeah. My friends from True North Racing out of Alberta, they're a race team that we sponsor, and they race hammers every year, and they race some of those ZJs. They placed second. They got second place in their class, like in the Everyman Challenge a couple of years back. And the same Jeep they bought off Eric Miller, who's obviously like multi-time 4400 class champ, but he won in that ZJ as well. So I think they're a wicked platform. But I will say, those boys racing it, they're chasing like cracks on the unibody after every race, and it's played it to hell. Like that unibody would just be scabbed over in a ton of plating and bracing, but they're still looking for cracks after every race, and they find them. So they'd be an ongoing problem. You're never gonna 100% solve that.
I think we found Dion's like favorite topic. Look at this. MP247 and MP242 and the WJ. He knows his stuff, man. MP231 and the ZJ.
Yeah, not the same with the TJ and YJ, just a little different.
Was there not a 242 in the ZJ? Is that a thing?
One too. Yeah.
Okay.
He said 242 there, didn't he? Somewhere?
In the WJ.
Yeah.
WJ.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
And then was there not a full-time four-wheel drive case in the ZJ? Because I assume the
totally.
230.
I don't remember the designation of the case, but there was definitely a full-time case. There's definitely a full-time case in the newer one too, the WJ for sure. Like the Overland had a full-time case. It always had a viscous coupler inside. It would fail.
Yep.
And then the truck would roll down the road, even in park, because it would just let go. Because the tranny's in park, but the transfer case became neutral because the coupler would break. See ya. Terrible, and huge money to fix it. Like the coupler was stupid. It was stupid years ago. Like I haven't done many. I think probably done like 6, or something like that. But that was the problem with those cases, and they're expensive.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, question for you: if we're talking about like right now today, would you buy anything other than a Wrangler in the Jeep lineup, and not Gladiator? That doesn't count either. But is there anything else in the Jeep lineup that you would buy currently that you feel would be, whether it's
just cool,
I guess, your daily driver? I suspect we'd want to take it off road.
Me, I'd buy a Trackhawk all day.
Yeah,
I know, me too. But I don't know, capable for going off road?
No, I mean if you
I've
really
like,
wanted
to,
to,
crazy doing it.
Oh, really? I've never seen it, but you definitely could change that. I mean, you wouldn't. I wouldn't. You'd wreck it. It's not designed for that. It's more like it's an interesting. It's a outlier, right? It's just a cool SUV that has lots of nuts. Like it'd just be fun. Like even mine, it's still fun. Like 450 horse. Like it's still a laugh. I can't imagine 700. Like I really want to imagine it. You know what I mean? I want to feel it. But yeah, I'd definitely get one. But yeah, if it had to be purposely off-road, other than a Wrangler 4-wheel drive, I don't know. I mean, if I needed something and I wanted more, I don't know. Like the new Jeeps are so comfy. You know what I mean? I mean, if you needed it more comfy, like a limited, Grand Cherokee's pretty nice machine with the 5.7. You know what I mean? And you could definitely do some stuff to it a little bit and have it for off-road. But I think I would buy a Rubicon JL, honestly, that has leather and all, like kind of like the one I got. Mine's in the driveway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I would just do that, honestly. But it'd be a Hell, or it'd be the Trackhawk. Fuck it, that's my
Trackhawk.
Who cares? We make all this shit up anyway, so that's my choice.
There you go.
No rules here.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I've seen people with the newer Cherokee just like basically stock, but I think they have whatever package, the Trackhawk or whatever it is. What is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's that.
Well, you're talking about a Trailhawk Cherokee, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking about Trackhawk, like the race one.
Yeah, no, I know the one you're talking about, but I've seen people in the regular Cherokee Trailhawk
totally
take it out, and it does pretty good. Like again, just people send us videos all day long, right? And so I've seen a few that are pretty impressive with these little Trailhawks, like going out there, hanging out with Like I mean, hey, each to your own. If that's what you have and you want to go off-roading, I say do it. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, like, the Trailhawk ones are comfy though. Like we've put like 2.5-inch kits in them and like 31-inch tires and that kind of stuff. And I mean, they're nice. You sit nice. They got nice seated position. I mean, I drove one maybe for an hour. Just a brand new one. Like we were just bringing it back. I decided to drive it. I wanted to see. They're pretty cool.
John says he's still working on how to put an Atlas triple stick in his WJ.
Cut a hole in the floor, brother. Come on.
Easy, right?
Yeah, that's it. Solved it. Don't worry. No fee for that one.
There you go. Solved. All right, awesome. Okay, well, did we miss anything? Oh, actually, I actually have a good question here. I think came in here from somebody. Do you guys Tim? Do you make any products for non-wranglers?
We would have a couple XJ parts because some TJ stuff would cross over. But honestly, not this vehicle specific. There just isn't the market share there. We don't make a ton of Wrangler stuff as it is. That's like application specific. Most of our stuff, if you want to cut, grind, weld, 1-ton swap it, get crazy, that's where we can help. So if you want to do that in an older Jeep or really anything that's non-Wrangler, we've got stuff for you. But yeah, no, in terms of like bumper, armor, vehicle specific fit parts for any of those, no, it's unfortunately not something that makes sense for us.
All right, fair enough. And Ryan, how about you? Do you make anything?
Got a tire deflator and a
there we go.
for sure. And then I got a utility tool, and I can make you some sneakers.
There you go. All right, good. All right, so a couple things.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Dion says he put a 2.5 lift in his wife's WK2 with 33-inch Falcons. How about that?
That's good. Yeah, we've done stuff like that. They look good that way.
Yeah, they do. They
a little bit of a
really
poke on the wheel offset, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, badass. Cool. All right. Well, I guess then that's it. That's it. Wrangler episode, and I think the takeaway is that we like talking about Wranglers. No.
I had fun talking about.
No, I'm just kidding. No, and the XJ, honestly, I think is I don't know.
I'll say, Paul, 84 to 96, 90 or 97 to 01 XJ, sir. I pose you that question.
Ooh, that's a good
You know
question.
the difference?
I'm going with the 97 to 01.
Yeah, for sure. The body contours are just a little
bit different, right? Yeah. Fair enough.
There you go.
Hey. All right. Well, Well, thanks everyone for joining us as always. Hopefully you had some fun and learned something along the way. I know I always do. With that being said, if you're listening after the broadcast, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you have any questions, you can hit us up at podcast@JeepBeef.com. And for everyone else that's stuck around and still listening, hey, thank you so much for making it to the end. Really appreciate that. And again, we'd really appreciate a like, a comment, all that fun stuff that helps us out with the whole algorithm and gets us boosted up a little bit. So thank you guys. Thank both of you for being here. And until next week, I got nothing. We'll see you. See you there.
Next week.
We're out next week.
See ya.
Later.